Okay, second grade. So we are actually starting our Western art, and we are actually going to have a contest because Miss Rucker gets to pick a few of the best pieces of art that get to be shown in an art show. So we are going to be doing this beautiful step-by-step cow. You did such a good job on the lions that I know you can handle the cow. So this is what we're going to be creating. Today we are just going to be painting our paper brown using some different values. Remember, I told you anytime you add white to a color, you are going to lighten it. You're going to change the value of the color, and you are actually going to lighten the value. So what we're going to be doing is today just painting the background. Next week we will be practice drawing. Then we're going to do the real deal on our paper. We will actually go, if you notice the background, I actually used oil pastel to create like the sunset behind the cow. So you will either have orange and yellow, because those colors are analogous, to create a really nice sunset, or I'm going to give you purple and blue to create a really pretty blue sky. So you get to choose the warm colors to do your sky or the cool colors to do your sky. Girls, if you do not want the horns, then you get to put flowers in the cow's hair, or not her hair, the top of her head. Boys, you can do the bull. You can make it a bull. Girls, we can make her a cow just by removing those horns and putting some, Miss Rucker will show you how to just kind of put some flowers in her hair. And if you notice, the brown piece of paper, we still have a brown cow. This way we didn't have to go in and paint the cow separate from the sky. This way we already do our whole brown piece of paper, and then I just went over the brown with a sunset right behind the cow. So this is what we're going to be creating, but do not worry about any of this right now. I'm just showing you our big picture of our completed piece. We are just going to be doing our paper in these many different values of brown, just like we did our lions. So you will have brown paint and of course white to change our value. And just remember that this is the darkest brown we're going to have without the white. So I think I want to dip in that first, because once I start dipping into my white, I no longer will have that really, really dark, dark brown. I will have a lighter value. So I think I want to go ahead and put down some of this darker value first. And if you notice, I have my paper hot dog. If you want to do it hamburger style, you can. But for me, I think it's just easier for me to do it hot dog style. So I'm going to go ahead, and if you notice, it's almost like I'm sweeping. Don't forget, you can hold your paintbrush. Everyone just kind of, I don't know, they get a little scared when they get a paintbrush. They don't know what to do with it, and they hold it all kinds of weird ways, and just pretend like it's a marker, okay, or a pencil. You're going to hold your paintbrush the same way. Do you see how I'm just holding it just like that? It's not a marker. It doesn't have ink in it. It has paint. That's the only difference. And you're just going to sweep back and forth. And I'm just going to kind of throw in some of this darker color anywhere I want. Because once I start pulling that white, that's it. All right, so that's good. I'll pull this up some so you can see. Okay. All right, now I'm going to go ahead and dip into that white. And if you notice, I'm going to blend this on my paper. I'm not going to do it on the plate. I do it on the paper, just like the lion. And if you notice, see how that blends so nice. I'm going to make sure I get my corners. Go all the way to my corners and blend. What you don't want to do is something like this, where it doesn't look like it is one piece, where it just looks like it's all piecey. You want to blend it together so that it has what's called uniform. That means it's all one piece. It's all going to be one part of the cow's body. It's not going to look like it's separate. Okay, so I actually dipped in a little brown and white. That's okay. And I'm going to blend. If you notice, I'm just sweeping. Almost like I'm sweeping the floor. Remember to keep the ballerina on her tippy toes. If your paintbrush starts getting scratchy, that means you do not have enough paint on it, so you need to get it wet. You need to dip it in the paint. I'm getting my edges, and I'm just sweeping. And remember, you do not want to mess with your paper too much. If you're just sitting here playing in the paint and playing with your paper, you are going to get what Miss Rucker calls is paper balls. And what happens is this paint has water in it, and it's going to start tearing your paper. And so you'll get these little balls all over the place on your paper because the paper is tearing. So make sure that you're not messing with it too much. Once you get it covered, go ahead, you're done, and go ahead and clean up. I think I'm going to add a little more white just to kind of streak some white through here. But again, I want it to look uniform. I want it to look like it's one piece, so I'm going to blend. I'm going to blend that white. I don't want chunks of brown and chunks of white. And I think I'm happy with that. That's going to be a really nice, different values of brown cow. I like that. Okay, so when you're done, you know our procedures. Bring me your paper with your mat to the back. We'll put it on the drying rack. You will get your wipe. You will go back to your seat, clean your hands and your mats. I will have helpers come around and pick up the paintbrushes and the plates to put them at the sink. Okay, next week we will be practicing step by step, just like we did our lion. We're going to practice the cow's face. So it's gonna take us a whole class period just to practice drawing this cow or bull out. Okay, all right, let's get started.